meeting today, because I have an appointment today.
This memo update.
Yeah.
This is on Tuesday, July 21, and that's today. 3 representatives from more Ford Hillside Court property.
Oh, I bet he meant June.
Okay.
Yeah, good catch. Let me check my. So I did not hear they were not attending, so.
And then I have a question, because somebody asked me yesterday, is it a final thing to have the apartments on the liquor store where it was proposed? Is that done?
I don't think it's done,
Okay.
no.
Well, it was, it was asked because they had gone to Walmart, and have you discussed at the council what's gonna happen with all that traffic?
On the road,
Oh, well, that answers that part of my question.
we have begun a conversation.
That is gonna
I mean, with the DQ?
be, well, yeah, you see where it comes out and where it
out
goes.
into the turn lane.
Makes me nervous.
It does. I forgot about that.
You just have to time it and hopefully they're going to the right. What if they want to cross over? Like
Well,
leave DQ and go to Walmart?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't get out at the top.
Text them to Jolene, see if she's joining.
Okay.
But we'll get started and I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I will just start with public forum, though we have no citizens in the room today. So we can jump to 5 and consider and approve the agenda for today's meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Do we need to add Chad's memo to the
Probably.
agenda or just want to have it? I don't know if it's really an agenda item. It's more of an update, but I don't know if you want to have it added to the agenda.
Can we get it linked into the agenda for place, like to save it so that this information is available for anybody that wants to read it? I think both sections are already on the agenda as part of item 8.1, and
Yes, you are correct. They're both.
so they're both
I
there.
apologize.
And I think this is SMR calling, that maybe I'm gonna answer it. Hello?
Yes, Jolene, are you at the meeting?
Yes, and we're live.
Okay, I don't have an invite to it.
Okay. So Melanie's sending you one right now. And we will hold for your arrival.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Sorry.
Trying to type on my computer.
Okay, ready?
AOLEEN at SMR. Yeah, R. So smrrental.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
while we're waiting for that, are you okay if we continue?
Mhm.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I did.
You did. Thank you, Nancy.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Anthony. We have a motion by Nancy and a second by Anthony to approve the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approval of our meeting minutes from June 16th. Somebody willing to make a motion to approve those?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion from Ken,
Some tears.
I'll second.
Anthony, a second. So we have a motion and a second to approve our minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Who seconded the minutes?
Minutes from
Anthony,
Anthony.
thank you.
There are two windows for Teams down there at the bottom.
One is the just send her an email with the link, so.
Okay. Are you guys okay if we just jump around?
Yeah.
And go to old business while we're waiting for them to pop in?
Sure.
So we'll look at, item 8.1, which is the discussion and decision on Lakeside loan. I attended, Chad and I both attended the last EDA meeting, where they created a committee with Josh Larch and Mark Island from the EDA, and Chad joined that from the HRA. And the bottom section of this memo refers to their discussion and the recommendation that they are making.
Did they review this with Brett? So,
I don't know.
He's been on it, like, after that meeting, he did leave to go out of the country, so I don't know that he's been updated on this.
And the process for EDA is the EDA is gonna have to review this and make a recommendation to council
okay.
regarding the EDA loan. And so our loan is separate from theirs. But I think ideally we'd like to align so that both loans can have the same process.
And we have EDA tomorrow, and I believe this will be on the agenda then as well. Based on the last EDA meeting, it sounds like this is kind of the 20-year amortization schedule with monthly payments is kind of what the thought was or the hope was on all sides. So if we can make this, I don't know if we want to make the decision first or if we want to let EDA make the decision first, but sounds like everybody's kind of on the same page, at least as far as.
So the way this is phrased, restructure the existing loan using a 20-year amortization schedule with a balloon payment due in 2 years.
Yeah.
I thought the last time it was or, either or.
So it was an extension. I think the thought was from the finance guys that we build it out like a 20-year loan, make payments for 2 years and reassess from there with a balloon at the end.
Okay.
Because he would have gotten 4, 5 years out of
Okay.
So the option for the balloon payment at the end of 2 years, if it's restructured, that moves? Or is that? Because to me, there's two different things here.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it is similar, but
Okay,
yeah, they're using the 20-year amortization schedule.
correct.
to see,
Yes, okay.
to project at what point in 2 years it would have cost. That's my understanding.
So that he's going to, the ask was if we're going to extend the loan, now, this is just my understanding, and I'm not a finance person, but the ask was that if he's going to extend the loan, and we switch to a monthly payment schedule rather than the yearly payment interest payments.
Okay,
So he would pay a fixed monthly payment, which would be the
20 year.
1 year amortization.
Okay.
And then after 2 years, the balloon would become due, or the boards would have the option to reassess.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Is it gonna retain the same interest rate too, or are we adjusting that at all?
That I'm not sure.
I would guess that that was not discussed.
And I don't know, do we set that interest rate or is that set?
You said?
Sure.
Oh,
So if it's not going off of the,
Well, the amortization gets set with a percent rate anyway, interest rate.
So are we comfortable making a decision today, or is this information for us? And we're in support of this pending action from the EDA and onto the city.
So it's,
I would too.
Does somebody want to make a motion to that effect?
I'll motion to, for this following how the EDA and city council move forward with us and then making our decision, but soon by our August meeting.
Assuming that they will review it in a timely fashion, yes. So we can we'll have a motion from Anthony to table this and discuss it for next month, pending approval of this structure from EDA and city council.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And I believe Ms. Jolene is online with us, so we'll jump back to item 7.1 and have our SMR management staff report. Are you there, Jolene? Just on.
Can you hear us?
We can see her, but we can't hear her.
I can't see her.
Well, we can see her in the room.
That's us.
That's us, isn't it?
Yeah, that's us. This is me.
Yeah, we just see her initials, right?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Okay, I just had to change where the speaker was coming from on my system, sorry. So, morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So the HRA currently are we reviewing financials? Couple updates, financials. You currently have 290,000 in your operating account. And then with that, with a little bit of extra, 992, so almost 291,000. And looking at the cap funds, the total amount of cap funds you currently have available is 143,555. And that is the combination of the 23, 24, and 25 cap funds. And we have about $45,000 in CDs as well, along with your security deposits. With respect to the operating expenses, we've seen nothing major other than we had $1,000 to fix the water softener that's already been paid. And we, will need to put carpeting in number 33. That is the transition unit that we are updating. That needed some repair work done to it. Otherwise, the minimal expenses at the property right now. We do have some upcoming, just minimal concrete work to fix a couple of trip hazards.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I guess a few years ago, I thought there was a decision to put all, like linoleum or just everything, no carpet, anytime any unit would turn over, that a flat floor would be put in instead of carpeting. When did that change?
I don't know anything about that, but I would assume this would probably be a mixture of vinyl and, sometimes we put carpet in the bedrooms, just depending upon the individual or the unit. Sometimes it just depends upon what's previously there. But I didn't know there was ever a decision made that there was a exact, but when I say carpet, I don't know if that's a combination of carpet and vinyl.
The units, they have vinyl in the kitchen and the bath.
Well, there's that, but we have some that actually just have the entire apartment is just one kind of flooring, the vinyl planking.
But the new laminate flooring in is what we've been putting in where it works. So it just needs new flooring. I use the word carpet, it needs new flooring.
Okay,
And
go ahead.
And then just for updates on occupancy, we currently have 2 vacancies, one that we're transitioning due to the unit that needed some work done to it. And then we're currently working on an application for the other unit that will have an 8/1 move-in date.
8/1.
That's pending if he gets all the paperwork back, but that's the plan. He or she, I shouldn't be specific because I don't know.
All right. Can we get a motion to approve the financials that are presented in the packet?
I'll second.
Motion from Kent, second by Nancy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, any other updates from you, Jolene?
I have none.
Okay, we're gonna, we already discussed 8.1, so we are jumping to 8.2, which is the section 18 disposition versus rental assistant demonstration, or the RAD conversion. Chad shared a memo with us because he, along with SMR Hillside on-site property manager and Leslie, toured the site with the Mora HRA for the purpose of providing the HRA with the Mora HRA, excuse me, with a better understanding of the proposed RAD conversion process and give them an opportunity to see the property firsthand. Following that tour, they met and discussed next steps. And at this time, we're just waiting to hear back from the Mora HRA staff presenting to their board to discuss that process and ongoing operations in greater detail. I didn't have a chance to discuss with Chad if it was a positive tour, and so I'm not, quite sure how it.
You're there too? No? They look like you.
Becky, I was at that tour. It was a very positive tour.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask, if this would happen and goes into the ARAD conversion process, would we be responsible for fixing the water problems that we consistently had for a couple of years? And
You're talking water as in the issue with the
the
foundation.
foundation, yes.
I believe that we need to have that foundation fixed
Before we,
regardless of what happens next with the property.
okay, that's what I was wondering.
That was my understanding as well, that it
Okay.
has to be.
So that's still our baby, our monkey on the back.
Well, it's still, I mean, once it gets read, I imagine that the HRA would still be responsible.
Okay, got it. Yeah, all right.
Just a fun, different way to.
Yeah. I don't have any other action or next steps on this. Okay, so does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns about that? 8.3 would be the HRA strategic plan update.
Oh, so on here, I still haven't received any, other than North Branch, feedback from other cities, but I did attach this HRA input worksheet, which I thought if you wanted to look at that and see if that's, those questions are something we could answer, pull together as a group to see people's thoughts on what their goals were for. It was just an idea. So after the discussion from last month.
Can we start looking at our schedules for the fall and see if we could plan a work session to meet and start working through strategic plan stuff in more detail?
Anytime after this month, it brings up a lot of my life, so.
Yeah,
After
that's why I said fall. Yeah. So I think if we can just do some review of our calendar and see if we can find something in September, that might be a good time to be able to get something started, and even if we're doing it a little bit at a time, be able to complete it before the end of the year. So it's a good idea.
Are we gonna do that? Look at the dates now or next week? Month?
I think I need to look at my calendar, and I don't,
Okay.
there's too many calendars for me to
So
look at on my
we'll
phone
add
right
to the
now.
next agenda to set date in September for.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, item 8.4 is discuss the foundation repair options if grant funding is not awarded.
Chad asked for that to be added to the agenda, just to get the discussion going of should something not work as we're hoping, ideas, thoughts on how we're gonna move forward.
So the grant, I thought the last grant that that they wrote was denied, correct?
There was the POP funds.
Was that the
grant
POP funds?
that we
Okay.
didn't get, but then we also are waiting to hear back from the Small Cities Development.
To see if they're going to be offering
State.
it. Okay.
Do we have an idea when they're making that decision?
I know they
Okay.
were waiting on some more
Got it.
documentation
Yeah.
still. That email I forwarded you on Sunday, and I think they need it by the end of the month, so. They're waiting on a few documents to finalize that, but I know we scored very high on that, grant
Great.
application, so.
That's the small cities one.
Mhm.
Okay, got it.
Because there's only so much room to go around and lots of
Yes.
people needing a piece of the pie.
Absolutely.
Very true.
I don't know if we want to touch on I think we've got to, if we don't get awarded grant funds, I think we have to look into how do we phase this? How do we, it's gonna cost more to phase it, but I think we can't just keep kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, but kind of basically ignoring,
Yeah,
hoping it'll go away.
It'll get worse.
Oh, I know.
The whole building smells like dust. Was Chad thinking, I mean, since he's a mortgage guy, he's probably thinking, bank loans or whatever. I mean, has he said anything about that would be an option?
Not
or-
to me, he didn't.
Okay.
I believe this authority could take up, I'm not 100%, I don't believe we can take a loan, we would issue bonds,
Okay.
but I don't know. Because we're an HRA, and I think this is kind of what falls into a lot of other HRAs that are our size and are kind of in the same situation is, I don't know that based on the way we're set up, the income from the property would pay for the bonds because it's already publicly funded. So
Right.
it's kind of we could potentially bond, but I don't know that we could actually. But that's, I have no financial engineer, so that's just my interpretation, but that may or may not be entirely true.
A couple decades ago, I worked at in a library system in Wisconsin. And one of the libraries in our system needed to have updates. And they were actually engaging the CBs, the naval core, building core.
Yeah.
And they had actually had it established, but then the CBs got called away. So then they had to use their secondary source to do the repairs. But, Army Corps of Engineers or what other kinds of, since, it's public housing.
HUD has a whole page for repositioning public housing. And then there's something also which may have been discussed before we started here, was the very small public housing option, which there's a potential that the repairs may not be done if that's an option we can go with.
But the repairs need
But
to be
it's a lot of work.
done.
52 pages.
We
worth
need
of
a
work.
sugar daddy.
Well, there's the option there are a lot more millionaires being produced every single day because of stocks and bonds and whatever. Some people are philanthropically minded. Is there a possibility of perhaps approaching or, putting some grant requests out there? Grant proposals, not proposals, but
Oh.
requesting grants from, deep pockets for the repairs.
I don't know, is that something HRA can do? I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of
We're government
we're a
entity.
government. Yeah. So we have to follow kind of a lot of the same as if we were entirely the city as far as accepting funds and things like that. So, and I am by no means an expert at any of that. So
But that,
good thoughts.
so maybe, Mackenzie Scott is giving away money to the universities.
Well, and to small organizations too. I mean, whatever, when she travels and she sees something, oh, they need a few million. Seriously, that's how she does it.
Invite her to Pine City.
Yeah, the arts center could use.
Anything else you guys want to talk about on that?
Would you like us to stay on the agenda moving forward?
I think it should.
And we can perhaps just start doing some research and maybe we can find grant opportunities, or, if somebody can do the research and find out what kind of loans we would be allowed to do, or what other types of financing we could do in order to, any of that I think would be helpful. Okay. Under new business,
Got a 2027 budget link here from the city. Yes, so it is that time again where we would want to be discussing 2027 budget. So
And what's your timeline on this?
preliminary is September 30th.
Well, that's coming up fast.
It sure will. It sounds far away, but it is coming like a train engine.
Did you say September 30th or first?
Yeah, it needs to be the county by September 30th, so we like to think ahead of that.
The county or the city?
County.
Yeah, so that only needs to get going fast.
And it's pretty simple and straightforward, but if everyone would just take time to look at that and see, I think at the next meeting, we could have it finalized pretty easily.
Okay, so when I looked at it briefly the other day, I think one of the biggest changes in here is that we're not currently contracting for professional services. But I think as an HRA, our expectation is that there's probably a little more work that staff is doing now without having Leslie managing the minutes and the meetings. And so if that is something that is going to affect our budget, I think we need to take that into consideration so that we know that ahead of time. Because our current year budget for the professional services included Leslie. And so if any of those first 5, 6, 8 line items that are related to staff wages and health and things like that, we would need city staff to fill in those amounts. And then a lot of the other items like the fees for, I think it's your BS.
Oh, our system, BSNA.
Yep, that amount needs to be filled in here also by your staff. We aren't going to know what those amounts are, so and then maybe we can do a little more review on that for next month, but I think we're going to need those numbers from your staff.
Plus, we don't know exactly what's going to be happening in 2027. Say we don't get the grant, then we're going to be needing to, brainstorm other things.
Well,
And we need the assistance of
hopefully
somebody
we
else.
can see an answer from the small cities prior to September 30th.
Yeah.
Keep our fingers crossed, because I feel like Jolene might know for sure, but I feel like it was September, early October was the projected
That sounds.
dates of receiving
Announcements.
information. Yeah.
Becky, that is correct. That's usually the time frame of it, as long as we have all of the paperwork that they're requesting of us. If we have still stuff that needs to be given to them, that'll delay it if we haven't given it to them or kick us out.
Anything else on the budget?
We thinking we could expand the next 2 meetings, or do we need to have a work session with this too?
I think you could probably see after August meeting if
Um,
how it wraps up, and then from there we could probably do like a week out from there, get a work session going.
Great.
Moving on then to item number 10.1, approval of the HRA check register for the revolving loan fund. And the only items on that check register this month are related to staff time. So can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Nancy.
Second.
Second by Tracy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Our RLF update.
I was just curious, is Timber Pines at full capacity? Does
Oh,
anybody know?
almost, yeah. Their memory care is totally full
Okay.
and their main service is almost full.
Wonderful.
So even just the senior living too is
Yeah.
almost full? Okay.
Yeah, I actually had a job interview with them and I asked what it was. Yep,
Oh, fantastic.
yeah. I didn't get
Yeah.
the job.
I just know more and more people seem to say, well, that's where they're living. And I'm like, wonderful. I mean, because that really makes us just more secure.
And also kind of validating.
Oh, absolutely. The
the
need.
loan was good.
So in the RLF status report, the Timber Pines loan will have a balloon due September 30th. So, hoping that one's right on track.
We haven't heard anything, did we?
Not that I'm aware of, so.
The building has changed hands a couple times,
Timber Pines?
management wise.
Oh,
Phoebe's now.
staff, yeah, the
Oh, like the building,
the executive director of the
Okay,
building,
that's-
but yeah. Okay, any, item number 11 is additional items, comments, or questions. Anybody got anything?
There's something that has happened this last week. One of the residents had to be, whisked away by ambulance, but he almost died because of his blood sugar so low. It just made me nervous to think that, we have residents that just kind of pass away in their apartments without anybody knowing. It's just kind of sad. Don't know what we can do about it, if anything, but it was very concerning.
Oh, dear. You have a building manager, right?
Well, she's only there 2 days a week,
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
but even so, I mean, the janitor, the maintenance guy, he's there more often. So, he can actually open doors or whatever, but it's just sad.
So I think the importance of knowing your neighbors in a community like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully,
This time with we got alerted by the Meals on Wheels guy. He was delivering a meal to the resident and then the door was unlocked. He went in, just put it on his countertop and then saw him, kind of unconscious in his chair.
oh, wow.
And so we were able to get him taken care of.
All right, any other items? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
I'll make the motion.
9:09.
Next meeting.
Thank you, Anthony. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion
I
carries.
always wanted to be that person. Because one, it was a couple, oh, I think it was women's investment